Hi, Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazin. It is my pleasure to once again bring you the lovely and talented Grace Moretz. Almost tripped on your middle name after there for a second.
Everyone does.
You know, it's fascinating because what I understand about musicianship, it takes about 15 years for a person to be really proficient at the cello.
Yeah.
You probably had 15 minutes or
Yeah,
so
exactly.
to get that same effect. Can you just walk us through how difficult was it for you to look as if you really had been playing that your whole life?
It was difficult. I mean, I had about 7 months of training with the cello, but that, that was still not enough time for me. Like I said, it takes about 15 years to even be able to play it mediocrely. So a lot of it was Frankenstein, you know what I mean? Cutting off my head and putting it on another girl's body. But honestly, what it was is learning the emotionality and the passion for the cello.
It's like your whole body is part of the instrument. There is something lyrical about it.
It is. It's lyrical. It becomes a part of your entire being. There's not really a separation between the cello and yourself when you're playing. What you do is you have to kind of surrender your entire body and soul to this instrument and kind of allow all your emotions to pour out of it and reverberate through your fingers.
So you had that physical challenge of the movie, and then when you see this film, you'll understand there's this really a powerful emotional connection that you have to do, not only with the concept of first love, but of death that goes around. I don't want to give too much away. How can you walk us through a little bit about the emotional aspect of the movie, because there's so many levels you're playing on?
Yeah, I mean, there's it's an incredibly emotional movie. I think within the first 5 minutes, the entire family gets in a car crash, and you learn later that that she loses the life of her two parents, and she has that decision next is whether to stay and live this life as an orphan but with her little brother, or should she go and be with her parents and kind of make the easier decision, which is just to disappear into kind of the pain in a sense. And it's an incredibly emotional movie. I mean, what's so emotional is the fact that you learn this 5 minutes into the movie, and then you have to continue watching the entire movie with the thought and knowing that the parents are gone. So you see this beautiful relationship, and you just know it'll never be the same. It'll never be what you're watching, and it's really messed up. It hits you really hard, And
just the last question for you. As we see in the movie, she gets to audition for Juilliard, and I can only fathom the nerves that were going through your character at that moment. Have you had a moment like that in your own life where you could relate, where just that whole stage fright kicks in of something very important happening?
Probably when I auditioned for Martin Scorsese. I was only like 13 too, which did not help. And I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified sitting with this master right in front of you, watching you as you lie to him and tell him that you're British to his face. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So I think it went well because I booked it, but I've never been so afraid in my entire life.
See, I thought you were going to say, Scott, it was right now doing this interview with you, but I'm glad that you felt comfortable that it wasn't that way. Wonderful movie, Chloe. I can't thank you enough. Terrific movie, If I Stay, and this is Scott Orlin. Until next time.